Hello, this is Dayton with New Concepts Landscape Construction. We're going into our 5th season. I haven't done a lot of social media. I haven't really made a lot of videos. But this year that's going to change. We do a lot of cool work. I'm going to start showing it. I'm going to start making how-to videos. We're going in our 5th season. And this year we come close to $400,000 in sales. I've only lived in this area for 5 years. I didn't know not a soul. No real help getting started. This past year I had some help with a shop, but up until 6 months ago we was working out of my yard. I got a big driveway, but man, it sucks, and when it gets cold, it gets cold. But I'm just here to tell you, man, that anybody can do this, man. It just takes hard work. Nothing's given to you. If you get some good jobs, you better keep them. You better work hard. Like I said, nothing's easy, man. I've come way farther than I ever thought I would in just 4 seasons. Like I said, we're wrapping up. Today's the first. It's the first day of our 5th season. And, man, just got that done. I'm doing this handrail here. Them cable handrails. They're pretty easy to put in if you can get it figured out. It's a good gig. They pay good. We charge anywhere from $110 to $125 a linear foot for this. That's a good little lick to get into. But every day I'm gonna post something. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about my history, because I tell you what, it's long and it's bumpy. And if I can be where I am today, anybody can be where they want to be. It just takes a lot of hard work and dedication, man. It's freezing out here today. I did not want to come out here and fuck with this. Everyone else is off. I come out and I'm doing it. I work every day, even if the other guys don't work. I have 3 employees all year round. In the summertime, it's more 8 to 10 employees. But in the summertime, in the winter, there's not a lot of snow, and I run the New Concepts side of it bare minimum. I'm out doing most of the work. I'd like to get some people trained up and take over so I can either go and grow into another field or just focus on sales. Either one. I would probably go into another field because I can get my plumbing license at any time. Septic license, I would just try to get our equipment working a little more. Like I said, I've been in this for 5 years, or this is my 5th year doing this. I started my LLC in June of 2020. Didn't start doing anything until August of 2020, and I was working at another lawn care service, Quality Lawn Care. I was working at Quality Lawn Care in 2020, started my own stuff up. I'd worked at Quality Lawn Care in 2019 also, but basically started my own stuff up. Was still working at Quality Lawn Care full-time. I was a crew leader. I was getting business on the side. No, I did not step on anybody's toes. I did not steal customers. I didn't do nothing like that. I thought about it, not gonna lie. Thought about it quite hard, but I didn't do it. And then 2021 was also... No, 2021 is when I went out on my own full-time. I didn't have enough customers to really go out on my own. To be honest, I only had 4 mowing customers when I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it happen. And I'm glad I done that because I made it shake. In the first year, we done $150,000 in sales, and I grew. Then 2022, I bought Quality Lawn Care out. I currently own both of them. I own New Concepts Landscape Construction, and I own Quality Lawn Care. Both based out of Draffenville, Gilbertsville area in Kentucky. We are right on Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley. That's where a lot of our work is. We do some work in the Paducah area. We do a lot of cleanups for the fire department in Paducah. We do the Lowe's, stuff like that. Most of our work, and 90% of my hardscape custom outdoor living area work, is at the lake. It's just where the money is here. But if you can go where I was at 10 years ago to where I am today, you can do anything, man. Don't let no one, and especially don't let yourself, put you down to where you don't think you're worth it, or you don't think you're capable, whatever. The human mind and body is very resilient, and it can do magnificent things when it's willed to do it. You have got to want this. I have hit so many snags. I have hit so many bumps. It's in my 5th year. We're getting ready to start our 5th year, and it's still not all the way lined out how I want it to be. It's probably because I jumped into both companies, and I never really had one lined out before I got going with the other one. But it's here nor there. When you're in the middle of it, you don't think about that stuff. And if you're another company owner, especially if you're doing it right, you are not thinking of the people who just can't even seem to figure out how to start a weed eater. Or like some people don't have, they can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time, and you will run into every type of them people on your way to finding good people to grow your company. You'll eventually find good people, and in the beginning you can't pay people the greatest, so you're not going to find the best help. If you can find someone that'll grow with you, that's the best thing. That's kind of what I've got going on. I've got people that will grow with me, and people I've known for a long time. They know how I am. I grew up dirt floor poor, so money's irrelevant in this. I just want to have something that I can hopefully pass down to my kids, or at least give them a good life while I'm here. The route I was going to end up 50 years old, in prison, nothing, nobody, and I've seen it multiple times. I know multiple people like that have absolutely nothing and nobody, still doing time out, whatever, it's here nor there, but I didn't want that. I wanted better for myself, and I didn't know how I was going to do it, man. I really didn't. I just knew that I wanted to change, and I wanted an appeal. I was in prison. I wanted an appeal. Got 5 years knocked off my sentence, which put me straight up for parole. I made parole. Didn't know I made parole until about 12 hours before I was getting released. So I had never put in a home placement or nothing like that. They ended up sending me to a halfway house in Paducah, Kentucky, which is now closed down. The day I got dropped off there, the feds were actually raiding it. Arrested a couple caseworkers and a couple inmates, or parolees, whatever you want to call them, for trafficking out of the halfway house. So I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be great. And flash forward 5 years, it's closed down now. They just couldn't get their shit together. And I did use, I use that a lot for my employees. That's where I come from. Old man Ed Lax, if you ever see this video, man, I greatly appreciate the chance you gave me. You didn't know me from Adam, man, and you gave me a job. and just kept letting me grow in the company until I become the crew leader. And you just let me do my thing. You let me figure it out. You let me get everything dialed in. And I just had to grow, man. But I look at you like a father, man. You're a good dude, Ed Lax. If you ever see this video, man, you are a good dude, and I greatly appreciate you. I wouldn't be here without you, man. I've met a wife. I've got a family. I have a son and a stepdaughter. And all this wouldn't be possible without you, Ed Lax. So thank you, man. Big shout out. But like I said, Ed Lax gave me a chance. Let me move on up the ladder, which it's weird how it all panned out. I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew it was going to be something involving business. So I went back to school online for business management, focusing on small business through Purdue Global. Don't recommend all that. You don't need that. I just went into $20,000 in debt for no reason. Could have spent that money on equipment, but it is what it is. I did learn a couple little goofy shit, but anymore you can learn that on YouTube in no time. Fucking you learn on TikTok. But I did that, and I was telling my boss, Ed Lax, at the time, hey, I'm going to have off on these 2 days a week. I got to leave by 5 because I have class at 6. And that led into, well, what are you going to school for? Oh, you want to own your own business? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Why don't you just buy mine? Well, I entertained that idea through that year, and then he wanted way too much for it. If all the yards were on contracts and this and that, just the way it was not worth what he was wanting. So I had to step away and start my own thing up. And then that become just as valuable as his 25-year business in 1 year. And he couldn't really find no one to replace me. And he got to the point in age where he couldn't keep going out and running it. And that's one thing is, you solo operators, everything might be great now, but unless you can save up enough money to take care of you from 55 on, you better really think about it, because you don't want to be 65 years old trying to weed eat. That's my biggest fear, is not being able to progress this far enough so it's self-sufficient. But that was Ed's problem. He couldn't come out no longer, so he had to sell out. Which we had originally agreed on a price, and he backed out. And then, so the next year, it just was, hey, we already agreed on a price. That's the price I'll give you. Yes, everything's a year older. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. Just, if you want to sell me the customers and the equipment, I'll buy it. If not, I'm going on my own route, and it's very successful, so I don't need it. It'll be nice, but I don't have to have it. And we agreed on a price and got that knocked out. Bought it May 1st of 2022. So this year will be the 3rd season of me owning Quality Lawn Care also. But this is what I'm getting at, man. I got out of prison August 2019. No credit, had never had credit, nothing. I had a credit card the day I turned 18 and maxed that thing out and threw it away. Had an AT&T phone bill for like $15,000. Don't even know how it got up that much. Blaine Wygant, it cost me a fortune to get them AT&T phones paid off. But they're paid off. Didn't use them for long. It cost us way more in the long run. We was styling and profiling when we had them, though. Blaine, love you to death too. Wouldn't have made it through them years there without you. But I had shit credit. Nothing really. I had 2 things on my credit, and they were both horrible. So no one would give me money. I went everywhere. Tried to lease mowers, tried to buy mowers, tried to whatever. They wouldn't give me a penny. or wouldn't give me nothing. They wouldn't even lease me a push mower. So we went from, once I realized that, okay, then I'm just going to start saving up money. Saved up, bought a F-250. Saved up, bought a crappy mower. Really should have waited. Thought dude was a little bit better of a dude than he was. Sold me a mower that barely lasts a season. It is what it is. It helped me get going, and it helped me buy the next mower I got off of a customer from Quality Lawn Care. She gave Ed the chance to buy it first. He didn't want it. Shit, that's right down my alley. It was a Ferris ISX 700. Very great entry-level mowers. If you're in flat country, that's all you need. Ferris 700 will do great, especially entry-level. Get you one of them bad boys. Make sure the deck's right and it's cutting good, and you are good to go. If we didn't have a bunch of hills here where we was at, that's a cheap, great cut, great, efficient mower to get into. It's a Ferris F700. But it's just the work you want to put into it, man, because no one would give me nothing. So I had to save up. And then I bought everything and told Ed, hey, look, at the end of this year, I'm quitting. Only had 4 customers and didn't know 100% if them 4 was going to stick with me the next year. I just knew I was going to make it shake. Or I was going to try my best. And the beginning of the year was kind of slow. Led into this, led into that. Hey, can you install a sidewalk? It started with a 4x4 patio. Is what I started with. Carly Alexander. Mrs. Carly Alexander's mom. You guys are some great people. Thanks for giving me my first chance. You guys have also, just a couple pictures from your guys' job led me to one thing, led me to the next, led me to the next. You guys gave me my first chance. I greatly appreciate it. But like I'm saying, man, I went from having literally nothing. A clear flat screen TV, a guitar, and a mesh bag full of whites. That's all I had. And if you don't know what whites are, I'm sure someone will answer it in the comments. But that's all I had, man. I didn't have nothing. Didn't have work boots, nothing. Met my wife now while I was still at the halfway house. Moved in with her. We were both working, so I could save. Got to save a lot of money. That way, she was flipping most of the bills. I wouldn't be able to do nothing. I wouldn't be where I'm at now without her, 100% for sure. But we just kept going and going and going. Didn't let no one tell me I was crazy, stand in the way. I had multiple people tell me I was stupid. My parents even told me I was crazy and I should just stick working with that old guy. Was their exact words. But I went out, just kept hammering through, kept saving up, buying new equipment, bought an excavator, had no way to move it around, but bought a 11,000 pound excavator for a job, and then met a tow truck driver, had him haul it around for a while. Now we haul up most of our own stuff unless I get real busy. I might have them haul something for me, but did all this with nothing, man. When I bought the company, my now wife, her grandfather, which he's passed now, but her grandfather was trying every way in the world to put stuff up for collateral so I could get a loan. He didn't want to be on the loan. He wanted it just to solely build my credit. No bank in Paducah would do it. Not a bank around would do it unless he co-signed for it. Which, if you don't know right now, if someone's having to co-sign for you, it's only building their credit for the first 2 years. So if you pay it off in the first 2 years, you just built their credit, nothing for you. So, and I didn't know this at the time. I had never messed with credit. But her grandpa, Richard, showed me the way with that. And after months and months of trying, we found Kevel Bank, First Community Bank of the Heartland, I think. And Mr. Renfro, good dude, has helped me every step of the way. He helped me finance the company. He's seen that my grandfather-in-law and my father-in-law had a lot of faith in me, and pretty much anymore you don't see that. You don't see the in-laws going to bat for, especially the husbands and shit, you know. That's far and few between. But they went to bat for me and pretty much made it to where I could get whatever from the bank, and it was all under my name, and it just built my credit up. So went from buying a company, well, I need a skid steer, we need a tractor, we need this, we need that. Didn't go too crazy though. Sitting right now, including my house, I probably only owe $250,000 out. So use debt. I'm not saying be afraid of going and getting loans, but use it smartly. I would love to have a brand new Mustang sitting in the yard or something, you know, four-wheeler, and anything really, but I don't do it because I don't have the cash. I probably still wouldn't do it just because the money could be spent better elsewhere. My wife and daughter have enough time spending my money, so all my stuff goes to work stuff. I just keep reinvesting in the company because hopefully one day this company will take me to where I want to be in life, which it has already. I'm not saying nothing negative. I have went from nothing to a very successful business owner of multiple successful businesses. I take care of my family. I hold everything down all on me. I don't rely on nobody. Got a couple employees, but at the end of the day, I don't got to answer to nobody other than the Lord and my wife. And at the end of the day, as long as them two's happy with my decisions, that's all I can ask for. But that's what I'm saying, man. Don't matter what's going on right now, today in your situation. You could be a millionaire. You could be dead broke. You could have just walked out of them prison doors. You can go and do whatever you want to do. Just put your mind towards it and do it. You can't procrastinate, and you can't sit around and play on your phone all day. You can't, that's the main reason I haven't made these videos, is because in my mind I don't have enough time to do all this. I'm about to be 37 years old, and I just started my life 5 years ago. I just started actually becoming an adult 5 years ago. It's crazy. It's absurd. But it's the truth. So I'm way behind. I'm trying to catch up. So in my mind, I don't have the time to mess with these phones and mess with this and sit down and just chill. I wake up in the morning, boom, straight off to work. It's getting dark, so I'm wrapping it up for today. Everything's already wrapped up. I'm just waiting to get in my truck. But as long as you work and work towards it and be hungry, you gotta want it. You can't just say you want it, and you can't just think you want it. You gotta want that shit. Just like with sobriety. Motherfucker can be sober. Don't think you can't. You just gotta want that shit. Ain't no... If you would have asked somebody 10 years ago if they thought that I would be clean and I'd be where I'm at today, they told you was fucking retarded. So, if you can go from where I was at, in the depths of addiction that I was at, to where I'm at today, anybody can do it, man. I don't want to hear no bullshit. You either don't want to stop, and that's cool, it is what it is. Everybody has their own right for whatever, Motherfucking Air Mart's always going to need people to feed. So, as long as you want to keep them motherfuckers' pockets lined beside your own, because as soon as you get locked up, you lose every fucking thing, it's far and few between. 1 out of 10 motherfuckers might have someone solid hold them down. But more than likely, that shit's getting fucked up anyways. So, it is what it is. You either out here fucking feeding other motherfuckers or you feeding yourself. And if you're hungry, get out there and get it. But that's it for today, man. It's the first day of 2025. Fucking get out there and get it. Don't let no one give you no excuses. Don't be no excuse. And just get out there and get it, man. That's all there is to. Is fucking get out and get it. Work harder. No excuses. Be a man. Dayton over and out.